I mean, the battery, the motor we use, and all the things we are like coming. And I think batteries, we can talk about it when we talk about the running time. But yeah, it's something like, again, like our system is really powerful. I would think like clearly the most powerful that we have at the moment, mostly in terms of weight and all this. I think it's clearly like powerful. I mean, I can use a 600, no problem to go in the wave. That's what I use. I'm about 85 kilo and it's really zero problem to do it. So it's basically my foil I use most of the time. In terms of running time, that's always the huge question. I mean, everyone for sure wants to know and talk about it, but it's can just change so much, depending the boards you're going to use, the foil you're going to use, how many takeoff and how you're going to manage your takeoff with the product, that can change by double basically. So if we need to say like, let's say like you have a small foil, small board that you're going to go, maybe you will do like 35 to 40 minutes for a session. And then if you use like a little bit bigger board, a little bit bigger foil, or you are more advanced, then or like being careful, like how you use the system, you can easily do an hour, or for sure the lighter rider going to use it for sure more than that. But basically like what I will say, like I use it most of the time for 50 minutes because I know how to use it. I know how to make sure I'm not always like full speed. So I use it, yes, about that time for like using a 600 basically. It's really depend of how you use, I mean, like the foil you're going to use. If you use 900 or 1500 or 600, it's going to be like completely different stories. So, but yeah, basically if you want to go in the wave and use like your small foil, you will do like 45 minutes. Let's say this way. If you want to use smaller foil and bigger and always full speed, more like 35, 40 minutes. And then if you bigger foil and do an hour or more, but it's about this. But already like with that time, you can catch like tons of waves. I'm not talking about downwind because this you can use for an hours and hours. So this is a different story, but I would say for wave, that's about this. And we have another one, like a cruise mast. So more like with the pod and the motor down. So this one, I would say you're going to do like a bit less because it's more like regular pull, not always full speed, but I would say more like between 35 to 45 minutes for the cruise mast, like non-stop use, I would say. Yeah. With a average size foil and average board, basically. Yeah. So we try all kind of batteries before we decide to go with those ones. So we have two of them because we can travel with it and talk about this, but which is really important because I think when you have an assist, definitely you want to travel. I mean, if you are able to travel, it's definitely you want to travel with your system. So we can travel with two batteries, no more than two, but that's allowed in an airplane. And our batteries are actually really powerful. It's a high voltage battery. So like a nominal, I would say like we are like 45.6 volt, which is like a pretty high voltage compared to what existing at the moment. And we have this that's why our system can be that powerful and we can keep that power that long. Because if you have like a battery with not high voltage, you can have like power at the beginning, but I would say like 50 minutes after, then you're going to have less energy. Our system, we want it to keep that high, like all of the running time or almost all of the running time. We say like the last 15 minutes, you can have a little bit less and maybe you have to use like one speed up, but still we really can keep the power of the system really long. And that's why we went with these batteries for that. We wanted to have like something powerful that you can use all of the system and as light as possible. So our battery need a little bit more maintenance than proper battery existing on the e-foil, I would say, the Lion, and we have the LiPo we have. So we need to kind of keep them in a storage mode. So we have like a smart charger. It's super simple. I mean, we have just two buttons. So it's like super easy to do it. But our system need a little bit more, I would say, not maintenance, but care of the battery to make sure like we're going to keep them long. That's actually what we have on our system. But on the other hand, we have something definitely powerful and super light. And that's what we wanted to do for this product. Something that, yeah, again, like power and light. That's definitely what we wanted to have. We cannot exactly compare if you compare with the existing at the moment, it's hard to compare it because we went in a different direction. And with a super high voltage, I would say battery, not super high, but we call it high voltage batteries to have this power enough and push enough for our system. So basically similar to some drone using basically, like a drone need to be light and need to be powerful, like, like those big drones. So it's basically the same direction we go, like something that give you push and something really light. Yeah.
I heard something about one of the concerns people might have is they're wearing a lithium battery, and there's a lot of discussion around lithium batteries and heat and fire.
So yeah, there's like two type of batteries. So we went for the LiPo, the HV LiPo, basically, with our own system, own BMS to control it, plus the case that we have on it. So we have like a full aluminum and control battery. So it's not just like the DIY, I would say, batteries that you can find. I mean, we have like a proper system, proper certification we need to pass through with the process. So it's not like, I know there is some concern and guys said, oh, okay, you're going to wear like a battery on you, but yes, but actually it's like completely safe. It's no problem with it. Our battery, if really something happen, it's going to consume. It's not going to be like fire. It's going to consume. It's a bit stinky for sure, but it's going to consume and not like completely burn, as you could see, like on e-foil. It happened many times before. So it's not like a dangerous battery that we are using, and we are being like super careful for that. So that's why we also have an extra box on it, like a shock-proof box that definitely like need to be proper locked. Then we put a neoprene cover on top. So we have like all kind of process to make sure that there is no like a problem for or damaging, or like people can think like it could be worse, but it's actually not. We have even a release system on our harness. So it's like quick release, but it's not definitely not something to be worried about on our batteries. I know some people are talking, and I could see it already on some forum, but definitely not something to be worried. It's definitely different than the battery, the LiPo that you could find on the market on a DIY doing. It's a completely different system, different batteries. We have all of this safety device. That's why we develop actually our own complete battery and complete pack. We are making it ourselves to make sure we can control every stage and every step. So it's definitely something we put one of the most energy in, like choosing the proper battery, the safe way to approach it. So it's definitely like a long discussion. And I think on the forum, you're going to find like million different vision ideas or things to do, but it's definitely like where we go. And the two system we have for the guys who are kind of like into it, because if you see like a picture of our batteries, it's like 22.8 volts, but actually like we combine two. So that's why we have like a high voltage. So we do like 2 times the voltage. We keep the 7 hour, but we double the voltage in it. And this is definitely much better for our process, for the power of it. So it can be like a long, long discussion about the batteries. And I'm sure it's something people want to know and want to get deep into it. But our system could be different than the things existing. So that's why some might going to say like, because I read it on the forum, like, oh yeah, no, you're never going to be able to do an hour with it. Yeah, we do. And because we have this capacity with those batteries actually to use them as the maximum of it. So we actually do it this way. So we're not going to come with million batteries. Actually, we wanted to keep it like super simple. If you want to do 2 hours, then we do think it's like so easy to change the battery on the beach. Just like open the box, take out the batteries, put it. It's like not even a minute to do it, maybe 20 seconds. So we do think it's better to do it this way and keep something as light possible with you. That I do think adding a weight on the product that can damage the sport itself. And that's the direction I really didn't want to go, to make sure we can really keep the proper feeling of foiling. That's really what I wanted to keep from the beginning of that project and to the end. It's definitely what we did.
Yeah. And I suppose one of the other things, just staying on kind of the battery and the fact that you're wearing it on your waist, one of the other things people talk about is, well, you fall in and you've got this weight on your waist. What does that mean in terms of staying afloat in the water? So maybe you can comment on that.
Actually, it's even opposite, because we are like the foam on our harness. It's a super floaty. So actually this gives you an extra floatability. So it's not going to put you down with the weight on. It's actually like really floaty with the box plus with the harness on. It's actually like give you like extra, I'm not going to call it safety because we don't want to go in that direction with the harness, but it's actually give you like a little bit of floaty on you. And if you release, then the harness is completely floaty. So it's actually not even a question about that direction. It's actually all good for that. Yeah. And we did a lot of talking about safety and crash and things we went into like so many process as we really designed also the assist to be able to go in a bigger wave, which is something some guys like. Not for everyone, for sure, but I think it's something it was important to have instead of having a jet ski to get tow in bigger wave. Then we can clearly do it now with the assist. even safer because you can escape like really fast. And we did like some shooting with Matej Drole, in Tahiti, and he was going like some barrel in Tupou. And so when we talk about like solid crash and pounded, it was like actually really good to see that, and he didn't have any problem. And one time he has release and no problem and get it back and get out again. So it's really like again, a product that we designed to be able to go in all kind of conditions.